And he also starts talking about how Pete Davidson sent him a photo of himself in Kim's bed and said, "I'm with your wife." And I was like, what? That just doesn't sound like Pete, like out of nowhere to just send. And I was like, damn, what the hell were they talking about? Well, Pete's friend, who is a writer on SNL, posts things for Pete since Pete doesn't use Instagram or social media. So he posted, Pete has his conversation leaked onto his friend's Instagram. Let's just read this because this is where it gets good. Yo, it's Skeet. Can you please take a second and calm down? It's 8 a.m. and it don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing, and you're so fucking lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the fuck up. So both Kim and Pete were very silent through this whole like Kanye just screaming. But the problem is Kanye, as an introverted feeler and a narcissist, he wasn't even saying the full truth because he was building his case. This is what Kanye always does. 10 years ago, before he was able to make clothes on a big scale, when he released Yeezus, he used his junket, his promotion for the Yeezus album, to just scream about how nobody is letting him make clothes. Nobody wants to collaborate him. He's the biggest artist in the world. He's the most creative person in the world. And none of the big fashion lines want to collaborate with him and make clothes. He spent an entire like fucking 6 months screaming at the top of his lungs until he got what he wanted. I mean, now he's a billionaire and he has one of the biggest fashion lines in the world. So Kanye gets what he wants. He screams, he expresses himself, he creates his narrative. Pete and Kim were not having it at this point because it was like, listen, you can't just like shit on our names. Pete's like, fuck it, I gotta send this. So by the way, the great part about this is like, we're about to see two superstar people just go at it with each other. And it's so good. It's just so good. Pete started off like relatively soft, you know. You could tell he's pissed. You could tell that he's not being like sweet and nice. Kim's literally the best mother I've ever met. You're so lucky that she's your kid's mom. I'm not going to let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Like, remember, Kanye released a fucking video of him claymation style burying Pete Davidson and also just talking a ton of shit about him on Instagram. A ton. Kanye says, oh, you using profanity. Where are you right now? So first of all, Kanye asked. He asked. So he said it, in bed with your wife. What the fuck else answer could he have given? And that's when Kanye also started making Instagram videos going, Pete sent me a photo that he's in bed with my wife. She's not my wife. Why is he saying? Like, now he's being all defensive. Now listen, I'm a huge Kanye fan. Like, I've been obsessed with Kanye for a long time. But come on, he's being a fucking bitch. Because he was shitting on Pete without Pete having social media, being able to reply. And now that Pete is actually coming back, she's not my wife. Why is he saying that? Like, that's literally what he was saying. It was so silly. Kanye hits back with, happy to see you're out of the hospital and rehab. Like, apparently he went to drug rehab or something like that. Same here. It's wonders what those places do when you go get help. You should try it. He didn't get defensive. He was saying like, yeah, it did great. Because you know that Kanye was trying to get at him. Because Kanye doesn't like rehab. Kanye doesn't like medication. And then Pete says like, listen, dude, let's meet up. Stop fucking just like whining on the internet. Let's meet up and actually talk like fucking adults. But meanwhile, I didn't know this until yesterday. Zoom in on this photo. It says Kim right there. You could say that like that's a tattoo. Oh, but we've just begun, baby. Let's just keep going. Pete then says, you don't scare me, bro. Your actions are so fucked and embarrassing, I guess. It's so sad to watch you ruin your legacy on the daily. He's trying to turn it up right now. Kanye goes, you're more than welcome to come to Sunday service. So what Kanye's doing is he's kind of pussying out and he's like, I don't want to meet with you privately and talk. Like, you're going to come to this big group that I've organized. Pete says, why don't we meet after Sunday service and Saints game? I'll be at the BHH. We could have food and talk it out in my room. Privately, one-on-one, man-to-man. I think that's a perfect text. Right now, we're looking at all of these huge famous people publicly go at it, but let's talk about it as if it's real, because it is real. These are all real relationships, right? Pete is being the bigger man. Now, he's not being like super like, oh, I really hope if we can meet, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's obvious he's pissed, but at the same time, like, you could tell Pete's not just like screaming at him, telling him he's shitty, whatever. He's saying, let's meet. Then he says, what you're doing to your family is dangerous and going to scar them for life. Please handle these matters privately, bro. I beg you. Because again, Kanye is just posting like crazy on Instagram about all of this stuff. And it is going to scar the family. When these kids get a little bit older, they're going to look back and see that their dad, yeah, loves them and all, but like handled this in a really fucked up, weird way. Like, what if Pete and Kim get married? And now I see that as like a 50-50 now. Whereas if you asked me 4 months ago, I would have been like, okay, no, never. But now I see this as a 50-50, Pete and Kim getting married. Like, they're in a relationship. They're both marriage type people, right? Kim doesn't just date. When she's dating somebody, she's usually marries that person. She's been married 3 times already. Pete is also the type where when he comes out publicly, not just paparazzi photos, publicly, he wants to get married. This could turn into Kanye's kids calling Pete stepdad. Kanye says, you want to see me? Come to Sunday service. I mean, it's so cheesy. Pete has a great response to that. This isn't public, dude. I'm not here for pictures and press, which is obviously all you care about. My offer stands. Because again, Kanye is not really talking this out with the family. A little bit. Yeah, he's chatting with Kim and everything. I'm not here for pictures and press, which is obviously all you care about. My offer stands. I'd wish you'd man up for once in your life. Let me help you, man. I struggle with mental health stuff too. It's not an easy journey. You don't have to feel this way anymore. Like, this is nice stuff. You don't have to feel this way anymore. There's no shame in having a little help. You'll be so happy and at peace. Like, I could tell Pete genuinely cares. He's not just like trying to patronize Kanye right here. You have no idea how nice I've been to you despite your actions towards me. I've stopped SNL from talking about or making fun of you, which they've wanted to do for months. I've stopped stand-up comedians from doing bits about you because I don't want the father of my girl's kids to look bad out there. I have your back even though you treat me like shit because I want everything to be smooth. But if you continue to press me like you have for the past 6 months, I'm going to stop being nice. To me, Pete handled that so well. What did Kanye do? He just went back on Instagram and made more videos about this. Pete says I need mental help. He's telling me I need help. Like, I just lose so much respect for somebody that I was like idolizing for the past like 15 years of my life. Also, Donda sucked.